students and welcome to the history class of Standard 7. Today in this video we will learn about the life of people in Maharashtra in the medieval age, part 1. The Hindavi Swaraj formed by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was a state for the people, founded with the noble intention of the welfare of common people, removal of oppression and the protection of Maharashtra Dharma. In the period after Shivaji Maharaj, Maratha power spread to all parts of India. It lasted for about 150 years. We gather information about the Maratha administration in the last few chapters. In this chapter, we shall study the social conditions and life of the people in that period. First, let us begin with the social conditions. Agriculture and occupations based on agriculture were the major sources of production at the village level. The Patil was responsible for the protection of the village and the Kulkarni handled the revenue. The Patil received land as inam for his work as a Patil. Inam is gift. He also received a part of the village revenue. The Balutedars were paid in the form of objects, food grains, etc. Now, Balutedars are the other craftsmen. Okay, we can call them goldsmith or the potters, the iron smiths. Okay, the different people apart from farmers. Okay, the people who were carpenters, the people who were making bangles, also the people who were making clothes. Okay, fabric. So all these people, they were also there in the village and they were also contributing. So they were the balutedars and they were paid in the form of food grains because they did not grow food grains in their farms. So they would exchange their products with food grains for the work they did for the village people. The village occupations were divided into Kali and Pandhari. Peasants worked in their fields in the Kali, that is land, earth or soil, and others. And Pandhari within the village precincts. Okay, in the village also there were people who worked at different levels. So these were two types of occupation. One was Kali and one was Pandhari. It was considered important to conduct the affairs of the village with mutual understanding. Joint family system was prevalent. Now, joint family system means where all the brothers and the uncles and the parents, they all live together in a big house, okay, with so many members living in the same family. So this is called as joint family, which was prevalent during those times. Customs and traditions. Child marriage was prevalent. It was acceptable to have many wives. A person could have many wives, but a wife could not have many husbands. That was not accepted. But a man having many wives was accepted. There are a few examples of widow marriages in this period. Earlier, a widow, if she had to marry, it would be a great thing. Okay? She was not allowed to marry. Forget about being getting married. She was not even allowed to come in the open or come in front of the people. But then in this period, we see that widow marriages were seen in some parts of the state. To perform the last rites, burning, burial, and immersion methods were used as per tradition. In different tradition, in different religion, they have different forms, and all these were performed during those times because we know that Shivaji Maharaj had a very tolerant religious policy. Muhurta or auspicious occasions were sought for every little thing and also to open battles. People believed in dreams and omens. Omens is good luck and all these things. People had a lot of faith in such things. Anusthans were performed to avoid the wrath of gods and planet. Okay, if there was any difficulty in the family, they would believe that it is due to the wrath of God. Wrath of God is where God is angry on us, and this is a punishment that we have got from God and from the planets. And to avoid this, anushtans is kind of religious practices, pujas, and all the religious services which are performed to avoid this wrath of God. Charitable deeds were also done for the same purpose. People believed in astrology. There was a general lack of a scientific attitude, and offerings to God, which is Navas, were considered more important than medical treatment. People believed in going to God and doing all these superstitious practices rather than having any medical treatment at on time. Standard of living. A majority of people lived in villages. The villages were mostly self-sufficient. Only salt had to be imported from other places because salt was available in only those places where there was coastline. So in other places, salt had to be imported from other places. The needs of farmers were limited. They grew jowar, bajra, wheat, ragi, nachni, ragi which is nasni, maize, rice, and other grains in their fields. So whatever was needed was all grown in their own field. And the needs of the farmers were very limited. They did not want or they did not have any craze for luxurious living. The daily diet consisted of bhakari, onion, chutney, and an accompaniment. Okay, so little food they ate and a simple food that they ate, onion, bhakari, and any kind of chutney and accompaniment is any other dish that they, vegetable dish that they preferred. Barter system was used for everyday transactions. Village houses were simple mud and brick constructions. Vadas with one or two stories were seen in cities. You can see it on the screen that the Vadas were especially of the Peshwas and the rich people. They had Vadas, two stories or one story. They were big houses, and these Vadas especially now they are converted into restaurants and hotels, and many people they can visit it for tourist purpose. And also many vadas are also given for shooting purpose, but earlier they were seen only in the cities. Rice, dal, chapatis, vegetables, salads, milk, and dahi products were mainly included in the rich people's diet. Men wore a dhoti, kurta, angarkha, and mundase. Women wore 9 yard saris and blouses. You can also see this on the screen where people they wore this traditional dress. Festivals. People celebrated Gudi Padwa, Nag Panchami, Bail Pola, Dasara, Diwali, Makar Sankrant, Holi, Eid, and other festivals. In the Peshwa period, Ganeshotsav was celebrated in many homes. The Peshwa himself being a devotee of Ganesha, these celebrations acquired importance. Every year, these celebrations lasted from Bhadrapad Chaturthi up to Anant Chaturdashi. Dasara being considered as one of the 3.5 most auspicious occasions, many new things were started on this day. Weapons were offered puja, and it was customary to cross the boundaries ceremoniously and distribute apta leaves on Dasera. So this was a tradition of sharing apta. Apta is a variety of dish, a variety of leaf, okay, which is distributed as a symbol of gold. And whenever they had to cross any boundary or do any important thing, it would start on Dasera. They would offer puja. The Marathas launched their campaigns after Dasera. During Diwali, Bali Pratipada and Bhau Beej celebrations had special importance. In most of the villages, fairs were held. Wrestling bouts were a common features of the fairs, jatras. Gudis were raised to celebrate Gudi Padwa. Celebrations included entertainment programs like songs and dances. Tamasha was a popular form of entertainment where Lavani was performed, and this is a very old traditional form of dance. Education. Pathshalas and madrasas were the institutes that imparted education. Now, pathshalas, they were the ones where usually the rich people they used to go to the pathshalas, and there they got all the religious teaching first. And these pathshalas were also sometimes under huge trees or in the forest, okay, where there was a guru who used to teach to the students who went there. And madrasas was of the Muslims where they got that their religious training, religious teaching in the madrasas. Reading, writing, and arithmetic was taught at home. All these basic things they would learn also from their parents or from it was taught at home. The Modi script was used in most transaction. You can see the Modi script on the screen. It is a very traditional form of writing, and this script was used for most of the transaction or most of the communication. Travels and communication. Transport was carried out by roads, through ghats and across bridges, on rivers. Cloth, food grains, groceries were transported by loading them on the backs of the bullocks. Okay, we learned it earlier that the villagers were self-sufficient, they were self-reliant. Whatever they wanted, they would produce it on their own. And when the production was more, that time they would export it to other part or the other places. And then there were these markets, local markets, where these farmers they would go, or the artisans also, they would go and they would sell their products. And how they would transport, the transportation was done by loading all the goods on the back of the bullocks. Okay, and also if they had to travel or they had to cross a river, small boats were also used. And transport was carried out by roads, through ghats, and across bridges, because at the earlier ages there were no proper roads. People had to go through the mountains, and then they had to cross the bridges, and all this was made handmade. There was nothing concrete, so it was difficult, but they had to travel long distances on bullocks or on horses also. Messengers and camel riders carried letters to and fro whenever a message had to be sent, or any rule or any new law that was laid by the king or the maharaja that had to be conveyed to the people. Then those messengers or any spy who had brought any information from the other outside state had to come. Then they would either use camel, okay, to carry the letters to and fro, and this was how traveling and communication took place. Sports. Various sports were popular in this period. They were a means of entertainment. Wrestling and martial arts were very popular. Malakham, Dand, Lathi, Dandpatta, Bothti were practiced. Okay, you can see some of these games on the screen, and these are all traditional and old forms of sports. Sports always had a uh, very much importance since history of India, and some sports that you see here are also followed today. Okay, like Malakham is still there, and we see Kho, we see Kabaddi. All these games are still practiced even today. Hututu, Kho, Atya were the popular outdoor games, and chess, Ganjifa dice, were popular indoor games. Ganjifa, you can see, are the round cards. Okay, we play cards which are rectangular in shape, but these were round cards. This was a little different game called Ganjifa, which was played indoor, and this is how sports had a lot of importance. And people in the medieval age also, they were interested a lot in sports. Religion and conduct. The two major religions seen in this period were Hindu and Muslim. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had a liberal religious policy. The general understanding was that everyone should follow their own religion and should not impose it on others. The government gave grants to pathshalas, temples, madrasas, and mosques. Grant is a kind of salaries that the government was paying. Who was the government? The administration under Chhatrapati, or the administration under the Maharaj was giving grants. They were giving salaries to the people who were teaching in pathshalas, temples, madrasas, and mosques. So this is how both the religions were considered equal, and both the religions were given importance. Followers of both religions took part in the celebration of each other's festivals. Varkari, Mahanubhav, Datta, Nath, and Ramdasi Panths were prevalent. There were different Panths. Panths are the subgroups we can call, or different cultures that are followed in a particular religion. These are some of the Panths which are still followed in Maharashtra, and this is basically when they are devotional to different gods. So that time they have different devotional and different forms of worship, and these punths were also prevalent in the medieval age and are even prevalent today. So religion and conduct of the people was very simple, very open in those times. They did not have any restriction. Nobody was forced to follow any particular religion. People had the right to choose their own religion, and nobody would impose anything, or they were not forced on the religious grounds. Women's life. Women's life in those days was full of hardships. Their world was confined to the house of first their father and then their husband. Their education was neglected. Only a few exceptional women had achieved any progress in literacy, administration, and battle skills. They include Veer Mata Jizabai, Maharani Yesubai, Maharani Tarabai, Umabai Dhabade, Gopikabai, Punyashloka Ahilyabai, etc. Customs like child marriage, unequal marriage. Unequal marriage is where the status or the age group was, the age gap was very wide. Widowhood, Keshwapan. Keshwapan is where the widow had to shave off her head, okay, when her husband died. Sati, polygamy, had imposed harsh restrictions on the way women lived. So the conditions of the women improved only in the modern age. Earlier, women had no importance, and they were also not considered as of any importance in the society. They had no say in the society, except the ones who were in the royal family, the ones who were the wives of the Maharajas. They were learned, okay, they were trained, and so they undertook different tasks when their husbands were not there in the kingdom. But the other women, the common women, they were completely having no power. The period from 1630 CE to 1810 CE is broadly defined as Marathe Shahi. Let us review the art and architecture of this period in brief in the next part. The remaining half of the lesson shall be continued in the next video. Till then, thank you.